Found out about the news that Trump's been convicted, which is quite interesting, surprising news. 9 hours ago, actually, it was. So it must have happened late last night or something. But anyway, I just got this suggestion popped up on YouTube. Andrew Bridgen. I thought, oh, there's a Bridgen interview. And it said based. Turns out this guy's a senator. Senators are doing programs now. So I'm just complaining about basically the fact that the English MPs and councillors are actually getting loads and loads of campaign publicity and self-promo, and clearly it cannot fit with the current laws. I don't know why they just didn't scrap all the media laws for elections. I don't have a problem with them going in and being interviewed and answering questions, but you got Corbyn now posing across all media channels for his campaign. So, Bridgen's doing an interview, but this is a senator. Senator's got his own talk show now, based, but he's only got 20 videos, so he hasn't been going that long. It's quite new. But he's been going 12 months, but he hasn't been doing loads and loads and loads of videos. And they all look like pretty serious interviews. I can't say that there's any sort of election. It doesn't look like there's any election campaign on there, or he's not promoting his own election. It looks to be pretty much seriously just interviews about subjects. But I thought the most interesting thing at the moment is that apparently loads and loads of Conservatives, Tories, have defected to Labour Party, which is scandalous. They're meant to be the fiercest opposition. Historically, supposed to hate each other, but now loads of Tories have defected to Labour. I don't know what Supertansky is going to say about that, because she hates the Tories with vengeance, and they've all joined her party. So maybe she's always going fuck the Tories. Maybe she'll have to fuck her own party now. Talk about Angela Rayner. It's raining Tories into the Labour Party's bucket. That's a joke, by the way. No offence. So but anyway, I thought I'd comment on this based. I thought I'd just say something about, the fact that, at least Andrew Bridgen hasn't defected to the Labour Party. It could be worse. Bridgen could have defected to Labour. Labour won't even have Corbyn, but they'll have Tories now. But anyway, Alex Antic, he's got his comments turned off, so he can't comment on his videos. So much for it being, so much from doing interviews where people can comment on them. So, he's even got a black background in a lot of these. I don't know whether he's making a point out of the fact that he's a borderline. Maybe senators shouldn't be famous celebrity talk show hosts. I don't know, but I don't know why they're going to have to scrap the law. The fact is they've got the law there. Not really supposed to self-promote for the sake of self-promotion. They're becoming household names, and they're using the TV to do that, to get elected. Maybe a celebrity could suddenly say, right, I'm going to run for election or join a party, but that's really what happened with Tracy Brabin, and she did win and get elected. But that's the thing, she got elected on the basis that, she was a TV soap star. I suppose this is the argument with Ronald Reagan, isn't it? Ronald Reagan was an actor. Maybe from that point it was just all a scam. Arnold Schwarzenegger also. The thing is, when somebody gets elected by the public, they're only asked on TV, usually because they got elected and people want to hear what they want to say. So they're only there because they got lifted up into the position, and they've got to answer questions. If the people didn't elect them, then no one would know who they are. So, and when they're continually running for elections and wanting to stay in politics, they're not really supposed to be on shows because of celebrityism and fame, and then using that asset through other people's channels and assets. And also a lot of them are monetized now, and some of them are making money out of it. This is the thing with Mog. It's screwed up. I don't know why they just don't repeal all the clauses and laws to do with the media. Well, I think they want to do, but I just don't know why they haven't already. And then, like I said in my other video, a lot of it comes down to finances. when it comes to elections. No one's meant to be paying for any Class E material, because when it's for purposes of elections, the government pays for it all. And when it's created or made for one party or the other, whoever's made it is meant to get reimbursed by the government. But they're not running it through or even claiming it. So it's just all... The Elections Commission are really... It's their fault. Maybe it's too much of a nightmare to have to police or enforce if loads of people are doing it, but I don't think they've even tried. And I think the Stop ULEZ campaign with Khan is the worst. That really highlighted how serious it is. I don't really think anyone bothers making... If you think of it at the moment, we're down to like 40% turnout in a lot of instances. 50, more than half of the people aren't even voting or interested in elections, so they're not going to make anything or even turn up to vote, right? But you've got your hardcore ones who really support parties like Labour and Tory hardcore, but I don't really think they make their own things. I think when they're all members of the Conservative or Tory party, they just get T-shirts or rosettes or signs or banners or even board things to put in their windows from the Tory party. So it's kind of... That's all distributed and put through the Tory books, and they purchased it and bought it from the Tories. You know, whether or not they should be showing it opposite a polling station or not, or on the way to a polling station in the car window, there are arguments over that in the law. But for starts, having it and possessing it, you're not meant to pay for it, that class of material for that purpose, right? And even it's separate from petitions to the government. There's an argument for tax over that, and then also, besides that, there's also the fact that if you win your case, like Tesla, we got as debated, any costs for banners or anything like that, you got your case heard, you should be able to claim it back from Parliament, really. If you get into the stage where you're getting invited in to give evidence and even watch the debate, and that's quite important in a serious stage or whatever. But why don't they just scrap it? They should just scrap all the legislation. Because out of the people who do turn up to vote, who aren't, I think the main people who it concerns are not really the hardcore Tory or Labour voters or Lib Dem voters or Green Party voters or the people who don't vote. It's the people who probably vote independently or switch between parties, right? Or who have a strong political opinion and who do turn up to vote, or maybe even have a very strong political opinion but don't turn up to vote. That's who it is. But I really want, if the Electoral Commission either don't do something about it, because if they did, then what the Tories would do, if they prosecuted a lot of people and MPs and MOG, then what had happened would the MPs would repeal that law, and then they can do what they want, then they can stick it where they want. And I don't really think it matters anymore now that they've got YouTube, but we're meant to be upholding the law, what it says in the law, and when you're just totally disregarding it, what's the point in doing any law? What's the point in doing any law at all? You might as well just, have people going around, stealing everything. But the government is saying that, it's getting more and more dangerous and crime is getting worse. So how can that be a successful government? It clearly is a failed government. At the moment, the government seem to be in some really odd, peculiar situation where they're talking about progress of mankind, but we aren't making progress. We're making serious regressions if they're saying the world's getting dangerous and dangerouser. But that clearly is a lie, because, you can get in a plane and go anywhere on a holiday unless you're not going directly into a war zone, under the depths of the ocean or, even to the Antarctic. It's not getting more dangerous. In fact, the only thing that is more dangerous is that they're making and selling things that are giving other people powers to surveillance and spy on people or get their informations. But they're saying that's progress. They're selling that and wanting us to buy all these devices and things and even letting the government do it. That's the progress. But they're saying that all this progress has not made the world safer, so progress must be danger. How government work it out, and you must be able to challenge. Well, Rishi Sunak is called the general election, so I don't know how Keir Starmer is meant to be Crown Prosecution Service. I want to challenge the government on, is progress more danger? Is the progress of mankind, with all the pinnacle of science labs, research, chemicals, satellites, instant snap of the fingers communication, the most funded police forces, largest police forces history's ever seen, lasers, tanks, £1 million tanks. How is this progress if the world has never been more dangerous? Are they saying that it was safer in the medieval period? It doesn't make sense to me. Someone's lying or trying to make propaganda against us. And I don't think Bridgen's helping, to be honest. At least Bridgen is not joined Labour. At least he can say, I haven't defected to Labour. It didn't last that long on Lawrence Fox's party, Reclaim the Media, but that's what they're doing. They're claiming the media for themselves. They're not reclaiming it, because they were never really on the media doing things that do result in self-promotion. They're claiming the media, and they know that the media now generally is more of an effect on it than their own campaigns, so they need to get on there and get talking like Mogg, but I think it's had a negative effect. I think Mogg really has sunk the ship for the Tories, contributed towards it. I think Jacob Rees-Mogg, regardless of what Sunak's done, what Johnson did, and changing the taxes and the economy and tweaking this and tweaking that, and regardless of the things they claim to have done, I think things like Rees-Mogg really, he didn't understand, he didn't get it. I think that, Mogg is on there and everyone's thought, oh, it's Mogg. Gratuitous self-promotion, breaking the rules, the Tories are criminals, and I just don't think that they realised that basically Rees-Mogg was effectively just sitting there going, hey, look, this is how to be a criminal. It's like Blue Peter, he's one I made earlier, How to Be a Criminal by Jacob Rees-Mogg, and be a complete denier